Hello everyone, we are Reynolds, and in this presentation we analyze the global smoking prevalence, focusing on how it varies across countries and which factors influence its distribution. The main goal is to identify overall patterns and provide a data-driven perspective on this public health issue. That is the agenda. Okay. Uh, the analysis is based on a dataset of 150 records from more than 15 countries and covering 12 key values related to smoking prevalence, demographics, policies, and health outcomes. Before the analysis, the data was cleaned by correcting misinformed values and removing missing data.
Before conducting analysis, we carry out a data preparation process to ensure reliability and comparability. This included correcting misformatted numeric variables, handling missing values, and aggregating the data by country, year, gender, and policy type. These steps were necessary to avoid biased results and to ensure that the visualizations accurately affect underlying patterns in the data. Okay, and now I will talk about the average smoking prevalence by country. So this chart shows the average smoking prevalence by country calculated across all available years. We observe a substantial difference between countries. For example, Brazil, Japan, Germany, Indonesia, and Russia present the highest average smoking prevalence are close to or above 36%. This highlights that the smoking prevalence is not evenly distributed globally and suggests that national context plays a significant role in shaping smoking behavior.
Here we compare the average smoking prevalence between men and women across the entire dataset. On average, male smoking prevalence is approximately 24.8%, while female smoking prevalence is only about 4.8%. This result is in an overall gender gap of nearly 20 percentage points, indicating that smoking remains a strongly gendered behavior at the global level. This slide focuses on how the gender gap varies across countries. Countries such as Japan, Germany, South Korea, Russia, and Indonesia exhibit particularly large difference between male and female smoking rates. This variation suggests that cultural norms and social expectations related to gender play an important role in smoking behavior beyond purely economic and regulatory factors.
In this visualization, we examine smoking prevalence by type of smoking ban policy. Countries with comprehensive bans show an average smoking prevalence of about 33.8%, while those with partial ban show a very similar average of 33.7%. Although the difference is small, this result suggests that policy type alone may not be sufficient to explain variation in smoking prevalence without considering enforcement and complementary measures. On average, countries with comprehensive smoking bans report higher absolute numbers of smoking-related deaths than those with partial bans. However, this should not be interpreted as a causal relationship, since population size and historical smoking patterns strongly influence mortality figures. Instead, this comparison highlights the complexity of evaluating policy impact using aggregate data.
Well, finally, we can ask, how does smoking affect the world? Well, it creates difference between countries. Smoking levels are very different from one country to another. Also, in general, many more men smoke than women, but this statistic changes depending on the country. And finally, countries with stronger rules, like higher taxes or no smoking laws, tend to have lower smoking rates. These conclusions are easy to see when data is carefully analyzed and shown using charts of graphics. So, final conclusion, this project shows the data visualization makes complex public health information easier to understand. By organizing the data well and comparing different countries, we found important patterns that can help research and police market. And finally, in overall, this work shows how using data can improve our understanding of global health problems and support better conditions. And that's all. If sometime someone have any question.